Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics. In this video, I'm going to go over, just as a way of recapping the last week of British politics, it's been a little bit mad, what I think Keir Starmer may be asking Boris Johnson at Prime Minister's questions later today and why. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, Keir Starmer, as leader of the opposition, gets to ask the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, 6 questions. In theory, Johnson is then supposed to answer them. Obviously, that's not the way he does things. We know that. Now, I'm not going to make a habit of this. I've not done this before. Trying to predict the 6 questions. And I thought, you know, because I'm teaching now on Wednesday mornings, I won't get to do my analysis of PMQs for the video to come out the same day. So that would have to come Thursday morning. And I thought on this particular occasion, although there are way more than 6 I could think of, I thought, do you know what? I think I might know the 6 he would ask. So I thought I'd try my hand. How well can I predict it? So, and I'm not saying that these 6 will definitely be the ones he would ask, because there are others that he could possibly ask as well. But as I always, you know, and the other thing as well, even if he were planning these, so if I were leader of the opposition and I were planning these, obviously I'd discuss it with others as well. This is just based on me. I would always say, no matter how many questions you're preparing to ask, if you get one that really gets Johnson on the ropes and really puts him under pressure, you keep plugging away at that one. It is better to land one major blow than to just fire 6 warning shots across the bow. Still, this is what my plan would be. So question 1, my first question I think would be about Grenfell. It was a dreadful fire in a block of flats, made very, very serious because of the highly flammable cladding that was used on the outer walls. 72 people lost their lives. The current leader of the House, Jacob Rees-Mogg, said it was their own fault for lacking common sense. Now, people who weren't complete arseholes recognised that the issue was that the material used for the cladding should not have been used. It did not meet safety specifications. This happened over 3 years ago, and nobody has yet been prosecuted or even seriously investigated. And to add insult to injury, Conservative MPs this week voted against a Labour motion, and it shouldn't have needed to be a Labour motion, this should have been a Conservative government motion, but a Labour motion to put into law the recommendations from the inquiry. The inquiry that they put in place, there's recommendations, they should put those recommendations in. Now, what that means is that those 72 people basically died for nothing, because their sacrifice is not even going to inspire improvements to help others. There are many people right now living in flats with exactly the same problem that could result in the same tragic outcome. Even the MP of the constituency where this event occurred voted against making the recommendations fixed in law. I would not be at all surprised to see Starmer lead with this one. Then on to number 2, I think I would turn my attention to the major news of the week, Boris Johnson's announcement that he intends to override the Northern Ireland Protocol. Part of an international treaty that Boris Johnson claims he negotiated last year, I'm sure Starmer can come up with all sorts of quotes about that, sold as his major election promise. It may well be that Starmer brandishes a copy of the Conservative Party manifesto, and signed into law by the Prime Minister. If Boris Johnson desperately wants Starmer to talk about Brexit, and it's clear he has done for some time, well, this could well be the introduction that kicks it all off. After all, how could Starmer, with his legal background, not pull the Prime Minister up on having one of his cabinet colleagues tell the House, just the day before, that the government intend to break international law with malice aforethought? Third, now, I don't know exactly how Starmer will frame his question. Maybe he may not ask a question on that. I just really think he will. But I'd be quite sure that however he frames it, and he'll do so in a way that invites a follow-up. And that follow-up is likely to include reference to Jonathan Jones, who is the government's top legal advisor, who quit yesterday in protest at this heinous and ill-judged proposal from the government. Now, for the 4th question, I mean, it's not impossible that another question wouldn't come of this. He might well go on for that for several questions. Very possible. But I think Starmer will also want to touch upon the rising COVID rates. Now, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him quote the Prime Minister and perhaps the Health Secretary as well a few weeks ago and compare with what they're saying now. So a few weeks ago, it was all, get back to work, you lazy beggars. Get back to the office. There's coffee shops in bother. Go to the pubs. Go to the restaurants. Look, go to the restaurant, eat out, and we'll pay half. No, you can't take it away and eat it safely at home. You've got to eat it in the restaurant. You've got to have it served by people not wearing face masks and be surrounded by strangers not wearing face masks. This week, it was a different story. What are you doing? Why are you ignoring distancing rules? What the bloody hell were you thinking eating in restaurants? Why didn't you just take it home? For goodness sake, the number of cases is now rising exponentially, you tossers. Stop killing your grannies. So yes, Starmer may wish to point out, just how where we are now is down to the Duff government advice a few weeks ago. 5. For his 5th, I think he'll still sort of stay on generally the same topic, but he might wish to highlight the government's chaotic handling of things recently. Worst week yet for the tracing programme. The testing system that tells people to drive up to 300 miles for a test when, they have a fever and other symptoms as well. That doesn't sound clever. Not being able to get results back quickly, even for those who are finally able to get tested. He may also wish to point out that the government were just about to start a campaign to get people back into the offices, pack out the offices, and then had to rein it in because some bright spark pointed out, actually, you won't be able to do that in distance. Well, they don't need to distance. Yeah, they do. It's in the guidance. Who wrote that guidance? You did? Oh, right. Yeah, it's probably very good guidance. Yeah, let's bin the campaign for now. So he may wish to poke that one. Then 6, obviously for the 6th question, you don't get to come back with whatever Boris Johnson does. You know how Boris Johnson does this now. He stands up, he says something futile, and then he goes off on his grandstanding, which has nothing to do with the question. Nothing you can do about it. So you ask a 6th question that doesn't require you to correct him or pull him up. So I think what I would do is go with the same question he asked for his 6th question last week, actually. So last week in PMQs, Starmer noted that Boris Johnson had publicly, on the news, said that he would be happy to meet with the families of the COVID victims that were asking for a meeting, but privately sent them a letter saying, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that, sorry." Now, he implored the Prime Minister to agree to meet with them. Now, Boris Johnson on that occasion defended himself by saying that he would meet with them, but he couldn't at the moment because he was facing litigation from this group. Okay, fair enough, I thought. Except, it's not true. What? Boris Johnson told a lie? In Parliament? Yeah, it's not actually true. It's not facing litigation from them. It is true that the group have sent a pre-legal action letter to the Prime Minister, but that is not legal action. It's not litigation. Hence the prefix pre. He's not facing litigation from them, so he lied to the House. He's also quite free to go and meet with them. Perhaps Starmer would like to use his vast legal experience to correct the Prime Minister and once again ask him to meet with them. But that's what my plan 6 would be anyway. There are others. There are others indeed. And they could well be fruitful lines of inquiry also. And besides, you never know. In between the time I'm doing this and you watching it, goodness knows something else may have happened as well that'll need asking about. But we will see, I suppose. But it does promise to be another explosive one at any rate. But unfortunately, I will not be able to produce a video for that before Thursday morning. But until then, I hope you found this video interesting. Throw in your own suggestions for questions that may be asked as well. Until then, hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. If you'd like to support the channel further, please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.